Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So, some really messy price action on the DAX and the S&P 500 at the moment, and the Dow Jones is actually no different. We are kind of looking like a rounding bottom, changing of direction here from this previous downtrend. Everything is hinting towards that. So there's a couple of things that you need to watch out for. The first one is obviously this level. It seems to be pretty key this most of the week. See how we're swinging above and below it. The second thing that you need to be very, very careful of is these moving averages. Sorry, these oscillators. They are starting to separate. So when they separate like that, say it so often, you can see there's a separation and a crossover there. There's normally a pretty violent move in the direction. So if they separate like this, it moves the upside. If they do it in the reverse, here's one here, and it's the downside. So when they separate and cross over like that, that's always an indication of something volatile coming. The other thing that you need to bear in mind, though, is that we are in between the moving averages on the 8th hour. And when we're between the moving averages, that is typically a range. And you can see that's pretty clear as well. So there isn't really much structure to the downside. This is the structure we're flirting with. So that's 34,481. The next bit of structure to the downside is pretty much down here, this gap and these inside tails here. Possibly this one. Maybe we must just draw that one in. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry, I must have to put another level here because you're just going to frustrate yourself if it doesn't nail that one and it nails the next one. So anyway, that's kind of the levels we've got here. So if we start drilling down, how are we supposed to trade that kind of price action? You can't. Looking like some sort of a flag, to be honest. It could also just be a trap. It could be this could be a top forming. So we break through this and it's a violent move down. Could be the opposite direction. Could be a range, break through the top and come back and test it, and then we're looking to move up. So get out your coin and toss. Heads up, tails down, because that's pretty much the only way that you're going to get any kind of opportunity on this. So for me, look at the oscillators grouping to the downside. Okay, diversions forming. Here's my swing low from the beginning of the week, and we're now below that. There's my swing low. You see now we're now pushing below that. Price is up here. This is the low. This is the new low at the moment. So diversions aren't confirmed yet, but it's definitely starting to brew with some kind of a flag here after a move up. Again, in the hour, we are in amongst the moving averages, oscillators grouping to the downside, which is indicating we are a little bit oversold at the moment, and this gap is closed. So you can see there's the gap, and for 3 days it's been flirting with that, but it hasn't really closed, and then we had a bar right here close on the gap at the open. So I'm kind of sitting on the sides. I really am not interested in the indexes at the moment. Not what I'm seeing. We do have a big week of earnings next week, so we could just be treading water waiting for that. But the fact that in the 15-minute that we're going above and below the moving averages like this is just an indication of confusion. So I think I'd rather be watching this level, 3481, looking for a weekly close above that so that we can start getting some setups for next week. At the moment, this is sideways and really confused, so I'm not even going to bother trying to get in on this. So that's kind of my story on indexes. We haven't really got a trade out of them this week. There have been no real good setups. The beginning of the week started off pretty good, but never really got the support or the return to structure that was acceptable to my trading strategy. So yeah, so that is still been a profitable week because we've had the money in the pocket. And a little bit of interest on it instead. So that's kind of my view at the moment. I'm really not keen to get involved in this right now. So we will take a long weekend and we'll pick this up again on Monday. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend.